Okay, so after completing the ecosystem marketing plan, the next thing to do is to get clear on how it's going to be designed. So, after having a clear marketing strategy, you're going to want to have a cohesive design strategy, so a brand identity. This is 7.2.0 in 10 design. This is how you come up with a brand identity. Within the human body, we relate it to the sacral chakra. Within construction, this is going to be like the second floor of a library that we're building. Within the cell structure, this is a ribosome. Just because ribosomes, they are essentially like free floating like contents that are able to be used throughout the cell. So the brand is something that should be ubiquitous throughout an organization. Within the actual human systems, we have the endocrine system. For a tree, this is the tree guild. So these are all the plants that are around the tree that enrich the nutrients and help cross-pollinate and all of that. Within our institutions, this is related to the mass media. So I see the mass media institution is really like the branding engine. They're defining how people think and feel about the world. Within a organization, this is the chief brand officer, and the department within Q3 is LP2, Unifying News. The focus of this within the coding system is Groove to My Home, and this defines the following for this epic playlist that we're working on. The epic playlist, again, is Tao Teaching. The three aspects of Groove to My Home are Groove to Verse 1, Relate. That's going to be how we come up with the brand strategy. Groove 2, Verse 2, Body. This is the brand components that actually make up everything. And then Groove 2, Verse 3, Mind. That's the brand identity, how you really bring it all together into a cohesive story. That's what this is meant to be. The way that you start everything off with your brand identity or your brand strategy, I guess, the brand strategy starts with you finding videos that convey the feeling that you want others to have when they interact with your brand. So with Relate, Groove 2, Verse 1, Relate, what videos represent how your brand wants people to relate to themselves, to others, and to life in general? And this is related to the MAMA protocol. Within this, we are using the sound of creation. That's a series on Gaia. So I want sound and music to be the aspect, like the feminine aspect of what we do. That's something that we touched on in the very beginning of this week. I put that right up here in this sphere. That's meant to be more of a, I don't know, esoteric and like spiritual aspect of it, like as above. And then the so below video is meant to be a little bit more grounded in reality. So these are just green renaissance videos. It's people giving their natural accounts of how they feel people should be living throughout life. Talks about love a lot. And I just think that'll be a good, feel good videos that convey, if you're interacting with Q3, this is ultimately what we're trying to work towards. That's what this is about. For body, what videos represents how your brand wants people to relate to their bodies, their home, their planet. And with this, we're using the Inner Evolution. It's a series on Gaia with Dr. Bruce Lipton, and he's talking about epigenetics in that. So that's more like the spiritual, esoteric side of it, metaphysical. And then for the more physical side, we have Andrew Millison. He's a permacultural designer. And I'm going to be pulling in his water videos since that's the aspect that we're really worried about for this project. For mind, what videos represents how your brand wants people to relate to their minds, imagination, and consciousness. So with that, we have Sacred Geometry, Spiritual Sciences with Robert J. Gilbert. That's another series on Gaia. And similar to how the music is related to the MAMA protocol, the geometry or the math is related to the Papa protocol in this aspect. And then for a more like the scientific aspect of the mind, we're going to be using quantum gravity research videos. So let's walk through how this is mapped out and what this all means here. So we have you, need, go, search, find, take, return, changed. So we start up here with the target audience. It's evolved a little bit as we've gone through the week, which is really helpful. Just again, reiterating that as you work through this, your responses are meant to change as you go. So we have for the creative side or the Mama protocol, we're looking for psychedelic designers. For the chord or like the balance perspective, we're looking for permacultural design engineers. And then for the more analytical side, we're looking for solar punk engineers. The need that they all have is like each just wants creative freedom. The mission statement goes here. The biomimicry representation goes into search, and for this project, it's water. Find is going to be the actual product that we're unveiling. So that's going to be this onboarding API that we're putting out there. These are just going to be different terms and aspects of what we're working on that we want people to come away with. So we want them to come away with authenticity, truth, humility. Return is going to be a product mock-up just to give people a sense of how we're going to put things together. And then for change, we have the song Permission to Love by Hayden James. That's the third song within the playlist. And through this middle horizon here, we have right in the center, we have the logo, and we're going to have one of the colors, probably the main colors right here in the middle, and then other two colors on either side of it. And then on the outside, we're going to have logo alternatives and showing how they overlay over photos. And those photos will just be representative of what we're trying to convey with the brand. I think on the top and bottom, we'll have like Hue 3 Agency, LP0 Polymath Process, and EP0 DAO Teaching. But for right now, I think keep this video under 7 minutes, which is good. And this is the process someone goes through when they're creating their brand identity. We'll be coming up with actual questions associated with it to make it really clear. But now we're ready to move on to the next step.